Awesome. Fantastic. I'm right here in front of Parliament. There's a sea of people here. The streets all across downtown are absolutely flooded. You cannot drive anywhere around here. They're filled with people. Let me just pan around just for a moment. I'm standing on the lawn of Parliament here, and there is just absolutely, like, I'm in an open spot here. It's a little dispersed, but I'm just going to walk forward a little bit for you here. Yeah. And you have to push your way through an ocean of people here right now. As you walk through here.
What are they telling you? Because Justin Trudeau keeps telling me that these are fringe, xenophobes, extremists, quite potentially terrorists. Are you getting that vibe from them, Dakota?
Not at all. The vibe is lively here. People are celebrating. They're feeling free. There are signs up everywhere. Mandate freedom, free us, don't harm our children. Everyone is out carrying flags. People are here cooking. I'm going to walk towards the road here for a moment for you as I push past people. Excuse me. I'm right in the thick of it here. But if you look to the road here on Wellington Street, the trucks are parked all the way across, all lanes, and it's completely blocked all the way through. Everyone's constantly honking their horns. There's an incredible amount of nice people. Horns, they have whistles. There's so much going on here, but like all of downtown Ottawa is absolute mayhem, but it is very positive. It is completely upbeat. Everyone's peaceful, and the streets have just been flooded with people spreading an anti-mandate, pro-freedom message. It's quite incredible to be here. There's just so much going on everywhere, all around.
Dakota, I think your Zoom feed has frozen, but from what I understand, there are just so many people down in Ottawa that everything keeps freezing. I know Alexa is having the same technical difficulties where there are so many people trying to use the internet at the same time that it is just becoming very nearly impossible.
Yeah, as soon as I descend into the street there, I'm on the raised kind of front lawn of Parliament here. As soon as I start going down towards the street, completely lose all connection. There are just so many people, and they're just being blocked here. But yeah, like you were saying, I think also the cell service is taking a major hit because the streets have just been absolutely flooded.
With just a fringe minority, they keep telling me, but there's so many people on Parliament Hill, it's causing the cell service to crash.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised they haven't just cut things at this point, honestly, but it's quite incredible. And so far, everything has been completely peaceful, positive, upbeat. It feels like there's an incredible music festival or something going on in town, and everyone has just turned out for it. It's like there's just this electric energy in the air, and everyone is so excited. It's palpable.
Oh, and the cold's not getting people down. Hey, that's good to see, because I thought when I looked at the temperature there and it was minus 21, sure, the out of towners are already there, so they're going to stay and they're going to come. But when I was talking to Ezra, there were tons of locals who were there braving the frigid temperatures just to send a message to the government. Oh, wow.
Oh, absolutely. The cold is not stopping anyone here right now. Everyone is out. There are people having cookouts with the truckers on the street. There are people out here. They're just running around praising. Like, it feels like it's the middle of a summer day. Like, on the last time I saw Ottawa even resemble a slight bit of this was when I was here on Canada Day one year. And this pales in comparison to that. And that was a hot summer day with everyone coming to Ottawa, the nation's capital, for Canada Day. This here now is absolutely next level. It's just incredible. And the cold, like I was saying, is not stopping anyone. It's negative 20 out here. No one seems to be having an issue with that whatsoever.
Now, what are your predictions? I know I'm asking you to look into a crystal ball, but I think you have a crystal brain. What are your predictions? How do you think Justin Trudeau is going to react to this? And we know he's in hiding right now, isolation, as they say. But
yes.
Do you think that he's going to react and blink? What do you think is going to happen here?
Honestly, it's so hard to say. I was really worried that there would be a harsh crackdown on this, but at this point, I honestly don't think they're capable of doing so. There are just so many people here; they would not be able to stop anything. And if the pressure keeps up like this, I think there might be some blinking going on. I feel like Trudeau and the government existing as it is are shaking their boots because there's nothing they can do to stop this. As long as this remains peaceful and positive as it is, this is just continuous grassroots pressure that seems to be coming from all corners of the country right now. And I think it's inspiring so many other people to stand up. It's incredible to see.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears, Dakota. I think as I've normally seen at these protests, it's a cross-section of humanity. Some of these people that are out there protesting today in the before times would have been Trudeau voters, but for them, this is just a bridge too far with the lockdowns.
Yeah, I got a couple people here who are interested in doing an interview. You want to see what some people have on their minds?
Sure, yeah, let's do
it. Yeah? Want to do an interview here quick? I'm live with Rebels right now. Here. All right, so what are you out here for today? What's the point of coming to the Capitol right now?
This is belong to Nemos. I'm from Australia. I'm from Melbourne. We have it tough there. Yeah. So we're going to support it. It's a worldwide fight to end tyranny and bring back freedoms.
Yeah. And if you could describe the vibe right now, like, what are you feeling? How do you think people are feeling?
I feel like it's just heating up.
Yeah.
A lot of peace. Everyone's out here just having fun. There's a new level of unity now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Do you think we'll have positive outcomes from this?
Absolutely. This isn't stopping.
This isn't stopping.
I live in Toronto. This is happening every weekend.
Yeah.
Until we get our freedom back, that's what we're worried about for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you see in the mainstream, everyone calling this fringe, extremist, even terrorist. People have been told there can be security threats. What do you think?
Yes. If you have 1 million people like we do today, a few of them are going to be extremists. That's fine. That's in every single group. So forget about that. The people that are here, whether it's in the Rebel News, that's the way of the future.
Amazing. Well, appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah. All right, on the camera here, live right now. Yeah, there you go.
Aww.
People are they're excited.
That poor.
This is great. Honestly, like.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, Sheila, you were saying.
No, I was just saying that poor Australian, he comes here, even though there's tyranny in his own country, and then now he's out protesting in the cold in Canada. We kind of gave him the old bait and switch there.
Yeah.
But it does seem like a festival vibe.
It's true.
Yeah. Ezra said it felt like
it does.
Like a Stanley Cup win.
It does. Honestly, it feels like people are here. It feels like they've already declared victory. Like what that just reminded me there is I feel like I'm on the streets and we just won World War II. This is the V-Day. This is the iconic, photo of the man kissing the woman here celebrating. Like this does not feel like people are fighting for their freedoms here. It feels like they're celebrating a victory already. It's so positive and there's so much energy in the air. It's like people are celebrating the greatest thing in the world. So despite the fact that we are still technically all locked down and mandated with our vaccines, and it feels as if the government is still crushing down, like it feels being in this crowd like everything's been lifted. Like those laws, if you consider that, are meaningless at this point because it feels like it's all a farce at this point. It's just lifted. Gaslighting has no power here.
Yeah, you know what? Mr. Producer suggests that we bail off YouTube, and we probably should. So maybe if you could cut that feed, and I'll just keep talking here. Dakota,
my apologies.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're just being overly cautious. We don't want to give them any reason to.
Yes, of course.
Right, like any reason. And as I always say, I thought it would be David Menzies. I don't want it to be me. Dakota, you were out last night.
That's fair.
Now, you were out last night on the streets really late, like our whole team. I was checking in the Slack channel this morning. People were up working till 3 a.m. Ottawa time to publish stuff, to edit stuff, to get stuff uploaded. You were out with the truckers last night, and your time-lapse footage was so compelling because it was just horns honking and trucks as far as the eye could see. Like you couldn't even walk all the trucks. There were so many.
Yeah, and that was just me walking. That was footage at 10 times speed. And again, that was just last night. Most of the truckers I spoke to there had shown up in the afternoon and had just been parked there all day. And again, that was just the early arrivals, the people who showed up yesterday afternoon and decided to park in front of Parliament here on Wellington Street. The streets are absolutely flooded now. It's like there's no end in sight. I've got some more footage I'll be able to share later of that, of just walking through the streets in all directions, completely packed. And it's just incredible. Like the city is basically just shut down at this point in the central core around the Parliament building.
And Justin Trudeau did everything he could yesterday. He weaponized the, like the traffic people to basically prevent the truckers from coming into their own capital city to protest. He closed the bridge to truck traffic and limited traffic on another bridge, but it obviously didn't work. I mean, this is crazy. Just look at that footage. It is. They can stop, they can throw up any roadblock they want, and they really have over the last week, from weigh scales to road closures. But you can't stop people who are fighting for freedom. That's the moral of the story here.
Absolutely. There's so much will behind this entire movement with the convoy. I feel like there was no stopping it beyond declaring martial law and openly coming out as the enemy. I mean, at this point, there's just no stopping the crowds. People are coming from all over the country to converge on the Capitol here, just supporters and people just amongst the crowds. But the truckers themselves, they're all over. And speaking with a few of them, they all have the same message. They are here for the long haul. They're camping out, and they do not intend to leave anytime in the near future.
Well, and the ones I've spoken to said that this isn't even about them. This is about everybody. It started as a movement for them to be able to cross the border without showing proof of vaccination, but also for their American colleagues to come up and do the same thing and, to prevent holes in the supply chain. But it grew into something about everybody. And so they're there. It started as a trucking protest for them, but now they're there fighting for us, and we owe them a huge thank you.
Oh, exactly. You make a good point there. That's something they emphasize every time. It's not just them. It's not just about the truckers. They are doing this for all Canadians. It may have started with them. They may have been the ones who said, you know what, you forced our hand. It's time to do something. But their action has inspired everyone across this nation and in the world. I saw Avi mentioning that Australia is now planning its own convoy happening. I mean, this is spilling over everywhere. This is the spark that has started a renewed movement for freedom here in Canada and around the world. And you can just feel it in the air here in Ottawa, on the Capitol. It's just incredible walking the streets. And everyone, I'm yet to see any detractors either. That is another incredible point. No counter-protesters, no one trying to incite violence. Every single person I've seen has been wildly supportive. People going by, honking their horns, shaking their hands, like in the air, shouting, cheering on everyone. I have not seen anything negative here. It's incredible, beyond my expectations.
Yeah, I was worried about, a false flag events, agitators looking to cause problems, because that's all it really needs is just that one spark to cause a problem. Yep. And that's when Justin Trudeau can react. That's how you get internet censorship laws. That's how you can never organize a GoFundMe ever again. And so far, so good. But I hope everybody just keeps their cameras rolling, as I can see here in the footage, because if we learned anything from the Nick Sandman affair, the broader context of any video is what's going to save you in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone has their phones out. People here have camera equipment. Everything is being documented. It's wonderful that we live in a time where we have the technology. Everyone in the crowd has full recording capability in their pocket. And even if the mainstream legacy bailout media refuse to cover this fairly, they say the revolution will not be televised. We now are at the point where the grassroots people themselves can televise it. The wonders of social media, despite its censorship. We have internet, we have phones, and we have so many people here, everyone recording everything. I think that's key. But going back to what you were saying, it's amazing to see that's positive, and I hope we keep it up, that no one will be able to be tempted or pushed into anything, and this remains just a massive, peaceful grassroots movement for freedom.
Oh, hey guys, thanks for watching. That's a clip from our Rebel News daily live stream where we talk about the news of the day in an unscripted and interactive way. It's co-hosted at noon Eastern or 10 Mountain Standard Time by me on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And on Wednesdays and Fridays, we've got rotating co-hosting happening from some of our other on-air talent. So good news, there's something for everybody. We broadcast on YouTube. But if you want the full uncensored version, you're going to have to find us on Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey. And be sure to sign up for our rebelnews.com emails so that you never miss us when we go live.